And then probably the most important thing today is our new Secretary of the Florida Department of Transportation is here with us. There he is, Kevin Tebow. Kevin, congratulations on your work. For you guys that don't have the history, Kevin was here when all of the origins of SunRail occurred and is very familiar with everything that's gone on, and I think has a really good working relationship, and I look forward to working with you. I know we had a meeting, or you had a meeting with a working group last week. I'd invite you to the podium if you would like to share your thoughts on anything you'd like to talk about, but I think we'd like to hear about your vision for us in the next 2 years and how we make that transition, and maybe if you have any thoughts on getting from DeBerry to DeLand.
Well, thank you for the tee up there. And I'm glad you used the word vision, because that's exactly what I was going to talk about this morning. And thank you, members, for having me here. Glad to be here and working with you. And it started about 15 years ago on the region's vision. And how do we move effectively and efficiently people through this basically I-4 corridor? And even though we had the project of I-4, as you see, it's under construction, under development at the time, it was really, we all knew there was a pent-up demand that even when we opened up I-4, this demand that's in this corridor needs to have other options for people, mobility options, and clearly this is one of those options to move people through the corridor. And so it was great to be a part of that, as you mentioned, Mayor, back in the day, to help work with the region on their vision. And how can we partner together to do so? And so what you see here today, and you can hear from Nicholas shortly in her presentation, where really SunRail has grown tremendously. You're going to see growth that's been double digit, well actually almost triple digit, pretty close, you're getting close, growth in the SunRail corridor. And so it's really capturing now that vision. And how can we then make sure that vision continues? Because it's tough sometimes for people to have that long-range vision of where we want to go as a region or as a state, in this case, moving people and goods. And so we want to continue with that collaboration, and you're exactly right, Mayor. Last week we kind of started the discussion on how we do this transition, because it's really important, because this is the region's vision. We're here at the state level to help support that. You know, clearly, as you know, we purchased the 61 miles of the corridor, and we will always be that landowner, like we are the landowner on the 88 miles in South Florida. And so we still work with that group. That's evolving, and we're looking to make some changes down in South Florida. But again, it's really here is trying to make sure we capture that vision. And so as we move forward, we look forward to that discussion to make sure we make that transition to be able to keep the vision of the community.